Happy New Year. I'm Suzanne. This is Training Tuesday. Oh my gosh, it's 2022. I can't believe it. It's my first Training Tuesday of 2022. And of course, all the rage is resolutions, right? Habit building, losing weight, getting fit, all the things that we're hearing from all the commercials and all the different places, and join the gym and do all these things. But there's a step that people miss. And so in this Training Tuesday, I want to talk about why we're horrible at building our habits. Because unless you understand what's happening here, with your personality, with your brain, you can create all the habits you want, call them resolutions, call them goals, whatever you want to call them. But if you're not understanding what might be keeping you from building on them and succeeding with them, then you're constantly going to be in failure state. And that's not a good place to be. So I thought it'd be fun to just go through a few quick things when we talk about programming our habits and how that looks and how that might work for us. What I want to remind you is that you're unique. I know right now you're like, well, duh, Suzanne, I know that I'm unique. No, hear me out. You're unique. Your path is your path. It's not mine. It's not anyone else's. You're unique. And only you understand what makes you tick and how you gain understanding in the specific things you need to do to be able to stay that goal-getter human you are is you. You. So I want you to think right now of someone that you know is successful. How do they act or behave? What are their traits? Do you think that those traits help them succeed? How do you compare with them? Then ask yourself, what characteristics do I have? Do I think affect the way that I achieve? What resonates with me? See, part of the goal things that we set for ourselves, resolutions, habits that we form, we're like, do this structure, do this, do that. But we haven't done the hard work to understand, what is my own personality saying about me? Do I tend to procrastinate? What does that mean for setting goals? Am I an early riser? What does that mean for when I work on what I work on? We need to understand that instead of just picking up someone's system and trying it on, it might or might not work for us, understanding our own path, our own tendencies. That's why this understanding what could be horrible about what we're doing is we're not helping ourselves be successful. Some traits are more in tune with success and achievement than others, but that doesn't mean that the rest of us are doomed, right? We just need to be aware of what characteristics help our own selves achieve and then use those to our own advantage. What characteristics hold us back and then turn those into positive drivers. Now, obviously, I'm not a psychologist. I do have a DR in front of my name, but I'm not a psychologist. And people can be very complex. But there are a couple of well-known theories that we can use to help understand our own selves and therefore help with our goal setting. And that will keep us out of that horrible seesaw of setting something and then not achieving it. So I'm going to go through a couple with you now. I forgot to ask where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments and let me know where you're watching from, whether you're watching live or hashtag replay. I'm glad that you're here. Apologize for my voice. It's going to be going any minute now. The first thing we need to understand about ourselves is our behavior preferences. We all like differently to different things. That's a natural behavior. And that natural behavior is unique to you. And it will affect how you view success and how you view failure. So you need to find out, what is my natural behavior tendency? How does this affect my goal setting? For example, am I inherently lazy? You might be. Okay, that's behavior. Fine. Are you inherently joyful? Well, you might see the Pollyanna side of things and might not always give enough attention to how things might go wrong when you're setting your goals. So you need to understand your behavior, your natural tendency. Know that when you're setting your goals, when you're trying to create new habits. It's also good to understand our intelligence preferences. We all like and are good at different things, and this will affect what goals you set. So find out what your interests are, and not like in an IQ test kind of way. That's not what I'm advocating for, but an assessment of what type of things interest you, because that is part of what your natural intelligence, what your aptitude is. So, for example, if you really like things out in nature and you are triggered by nature and you want to be outside, if you have a goal of sitting in front of your computer for 8 hours a day, you've already set yourself up for failure, because that is not your natural tendency. That's not where you draw inspiration. That's not a part of what interests you. So you want to hack those things to keep you most successful. And then finally, it's really important to understand your personal motivation. We're all motivated by different things. Some inherent to our traits, some are driven by our life situation. So we find out what motivates ourselves. Now, there are several personal indicators that influence what you do, how you think, how you relate to other people, and how you succeed. And the key thing is that you understand you as a person and what that means for your own goal setting journey and ultimate success. Now, the way I do this is I do the DISC method, and I'm a trainer in DISC. If you want to know more about hacking your personality and understanding your leadership preferences and how you do or do not communicate, drop a comment. I'll reach out to you. I'll tell you more. But there are several others, and if you want more information, again, holler at me. But remember that your motivation and your learning preferences, your skill set, and your behaviors will all combine to help you design your groove and to get after your goals. Now, the good news is that you can program yourself. Yep, you can actually redesign yourself. You're kind of a robot of sorts, so to speak. And you can hardwire yourself for success. So remember, as humans, we're programmed to respond positively to rewards. That's how habits are formed. When we receive a reward, we do it again. Then we get the reward. Then we do it again, and then we get the reward. For example, you eat chocolate because it tastes good, right? And then you want more, and then you eat it. And then suddenly you might have a nasty chocolate addiction. But you can use a reward cycle to program amazing habits into yourself. That's why understanding those preferences and your ideation is really important. So, what you want to do is you want to break down a habit into the system that helps you and goals, right? It's so simple, it's so powerful. So, ask yourself, what is a habit that I want to program into myself, right? So, maybe you want to write 500 words every morning at 6:30 in the morning. You could use a calendar, or you could reward yourself with something else, like a nice hot shower. Once I get to 500 words, I get a nice hot shower, or I get to go to Starbucks, or I get a piece of chocolate. And you then you want to understand: do I need to calendar this? Do I want Siri, if you use a smartphone, to remind me when I do this? Do I want to see how many words I can write within 30 minutes? However you want to do it, set yourself with your intention and then understand how you can break the chain of your horrible habits to make it more doable for yourself. Now, be sure that you are programming a reward system for yourself, because that's the only way that you'll stick to it. That's it. 7 minutes and 32 seconds on this Training Tuesday on not being horrible with your habit formation. Okay? You can do this. I'm Suzanne. If you want more information, let me know. I'd love to walk beside you and help you create some sustainable life and business habits. And welcome to 2022. I'll see you next week.